If I could describe Councilmember Tyson in one word, I would describe her as unstoppable. She knows how to articulate a goal and how to get there, and that goal is always on behalf of our community.
I would describe Councilmember Tyson in one word with heart. She is someone that loves people and loves the ability to help people.
A community champion who is committed, who's dedicated, who's intentional in her service.
If I were to describe Priscilla Tyson, I'd say she's strong like a tree, deep-rooted in the community, someone that we knew we could go to for the values of council, what it meant to be on council for the past 15 years, and someone that was reliable to be a leader.
I know her personally, and I know the role that faith has played in her life. Her ability to be a servant first comes from her deep faith. And so when I think about all that she has given, all the sacrifices she has made, I know that the only way that she was able to do that and serve so admirably with such dignity was because she dug deep down in her faith, and her faithfulness to God has sustained her. And so I am very grateful to have served and learned and been mentored by Councilmember Tyson.
I think my fondest memories of Priscilla Tyson have to be in connection to the title that I often call her by, and that is Deacon Priscilla Tyson, because that is the role, one of the roles that she and her husband, Rennie, serve here in this church. They serve on our diaconate board and minister to our congregation in that way.
She has a passion to do good work, to perform excellently, but she also has that compassion to remember everybody in our city, whether it's north side, east side, west side, south side, or wherever. Priscilla Tyson has never forgotten the poor. She's never forgotten the needy. She knows the resources. She has a great, wonderful grasp of the finances of this city. And all those talents that she has displayed over these many years impresses me gratefully.
She's an incredible advocate for neighborhoods, for social services, for public health. She's been a great leader, someone that knows how to bring people together, sometimes around difficult issues, to move the community forward. Always focused on neighborhood, quality of life, health, vitality. She's been an incredible partner and champion on a lot of work.
You know, I think about the work she's done around minority health and how she's really emphasized the work we do at Columbus Public Health as well as around the community. I also think of the work she's done with the food plan and how that's been very instrumental in our work at the health department.
A real champion with the local food action plan, among other efforts, to ensure that there are not hungry people in this community. And we're not there yet. Those are mountains we still have to move, but from a local level, Councilmember Tyson has done as much as anyone in elected office to champion those issues.
Her investment wasn't just in Linden. Her investment really has been in the Food Council, in the larger work of food security in really central Ohio. It reminds communities that they are important, that they are worthy, not just of food, but fresh food, for good food. For products, to be able to bring what they have worked and earned in the earth and in their own businesses or projects, and bring that to the community that we could share and have what we need together.
You talk about people having an impact, you talk about great things that are achieved, and then you look at people who have a legacied life. It's really hard to pick one thing to show how Councilwoman Tyson impacted society. You have to look at her catalog of content of impact over decades-long public service career. If you're forcing me to highlight one thing, well, I had the pleasure of working with her and the other distinguished commission members on the Commission on Black Girls. And that is a signature program that not only was based on research, evaluation, and then what can we do to solve and improve the lives of Black women in Columbus. It actually is a roadmap and a textbook case, a clinic in fact, of how other urban cities and any city across the U.S. can do that for marginalized kiddos and marginalized communities, and in this case, Black girls.
The Commission on Black Girls
She thought of bringing together the powers that be in this city to look at every aspect of the life of Black women and girls, whether it's in healthcare or the judicial system or education, to bring those folks together for about 2 years to study those issues and come up with recommendations.
Through being a driving force and always giving me words of encouragement in the Commission on Black Girls and Young Women, I have felt solidly integrated into my own community, as I felt like very separated from it before. Seeing a lot of other Black girls that are like me and have had the same struggles as me and even different struggles, I got to learn and kind of gauge what other girls are going through, and it really helped me open the door to, I'm not alone. I'm here with other girls that have the same struggles as me, and I'm able to overcome that, and now I'm able to be a driving force for other Black girls that may struggle with their identity or being biracial and say, hey, I know where you're coming from, but we can definitely make a change. You can identify with your Blackness.
She is bringing the perspective of being an African-American woman, the challenges as well as the opportunities. I think sometimes we are underestimated, are pigeonholed into certain areas of public policy. My passion, as is Councilwoman Priscilla Tyson's passion, is healthcare. Those are generally the areas that you're pigeonholed into as a woman, or on childcare issues or education issues. They never really want to see you in a position as a finance guru or an economic development guru. That's why I'm so proud that Councilwoman Tyson not only has a focus on health and human services, but also as the chair of the zoning committee. That's a committee that really helps to plan where the development is within Columbus, Ohio.
She worked very hard in a lot of different roles. I mean, she chaired Recreation and Parks Committee for a number of years, but in the Finance Committee, I know she chaired, and there may have been others as well. Everything she did, I think, was really looking at how can she make Columbus a better community for everyone.
Priscilla has been on our board of directors, our executive committee of the National League of Cities. She's led our National Conference of Black elected officials. She has been a part of our audit committee. She is all about the business of whatever she's working on. She's all about process. She's all about standards and making sure whatever we do is at a standard that reflects her as a leader.
Clearly for the arts, she was on the Greater Columbus Art Council board for a number of years. She had a voice, but I think that was wrapped into social service. They have never really been separate. So when we talk about the quality of life for youth in Columbus, I think that's going to be a large part of her legacy.
I was immediately taken by the warmth of her smile and by the brilliance of her eyes. Priscilla is open-minded in her approach to anything. She is a great listener. She's flexible and positive at all times. She's creative and a problem solver, especially when it comes to red tape, and there is a lot between the United States and Italy. Priscilla is transparent, ethical, and authentic, and greatly civic-minded. She is a real charismatic leader and the embodiment of effective cross-cultural communication and collaboration.
She's had one of the longest careers on council, in our history, and to still have that passion to help people after all those years is an incredible tribute to her heart and her ability to really feel and want to make sure that she does as much good for people as she possibly can.
In my career with the city, I spent 52 years with the city, and during that time, there were about 50 different council members served in that period of time. And Priscilla Tyson was one of the very, very finest. So that's why I feel kind of special to be asked to comment on Priscilla.
So many great memories, Councilmember Tyson and I, serving on council together, working so hard together on issues that mattered, having to make some difficult decisions because she and I served during the Great Recession. There were lots of difficult decisions that had to be made. Having her steely resilience, steady focus during this global pandemic as one of our leading advocates for public health in our community was critically important to me as mayor, to have her advocacy and willingness to lead. Again, helping us through uncharted waters. None of us have ever lived through a global pandemic, and having her chair our Health and Human Services Committee during those very challenging early days was absolutely critical.
You know, Councilmember Tyson probably doesn't realize this, but she's really served as a mentor to me. She's someone that I've looked up to fondly in the work and how she's handled herself professionally as well as personally. And I appreciate all that she's done for our community, but most importantly and selfishly, what she's done for public health.
Yes, she's been very involved with issues like food insecurity, and that demonstrates commitment. She's been involved with small businesses. That demonstrates commitment. She's been involved with neighborhoods. That demonstrates commitment. But what I admire most about what she's brought to this city is she's brought courage. She's brought courage. She's advocated for racism to be declared a public health crisis. Who does that? Who looks at those of us who have endured racism for all of our lives and said, this is more than just an individual problem. This is a community problem. That demonstrates courage.
We always said Recreation and Parks had an impact on everybody who participated in our programs, one day at a time, one person at a time. And I think she really believed that in her life, and I think in her role as city council. I think in retirement she'll find ways to continue that. I mean, I think she's a very positive person who looks at the good in people, looks at this community and how can I make it a better community for all.
The arts in Columbus has traditionally been short-funded. We've been underfunded. And she was very helpful in determining how we could access additional revenues for the arts, additional public funding, and she was supportive every step of the way.
I would remember most the times that she gave me the hardest time about pending legislation, only because I think of her fairness and her consistency. If you were to ask yourself, is there one council person that I can recall in the history of council members that you could walk into City Hall, not know the person, and get the same treatment? That's Priscilla Tyson.
She's dedicated, she's loyal, and she will always try to help you. I know that because that's what she's done for me. She's been in my life for over 40 plus years.
You will leave, Priscilla, leave this role knowing that you have really had a significant impact on the people, the culture, the life, and the opportunities that you have brought about for the people who live in Columbus.
Thank you, Councilmember Tyson, for all of your great work for children, for families, for seniors. You've made a huge difference in the quality of life of this city, and I'm grateful to you and your family for all that you've done.
Thank you for being an incredible, unwavering supporter of the arts. Councilmember Tyson, thank you for being someone that we could always rely on. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for being a stateswoman and a servant leader of the highest order.
Councilmember Tyson, I'm going to miss our meetings, as I have. We haven't been able to sit together in person for 19 months and counting now. I'm not sure that we've ever had a meeting where we were on time, because we would just get going and we would talk, and the people behind my scheduled meeting with you would have to wait. And I always appreciated that, even though I felt bad for the folks behind me. But I will deeply miss our talks and the great questions that you would ask of me and of us.
And we love you, we honor you, we praise you, and we thank God for your presence in our lives.
Priscilla, I wish you didn't retire. You're leaving Columbus City Council is going to be a loss to our city. And I hope you will always preserve and continue with the serving virtues that you've displayed while you're here with the city. Just remember, because of those serving virtues and the way you've served our citizens of Columbus, That's why we love you.
I hope in your retirement that you just don't feel like you have to quit, you have to stop, and everything is over. But most of all, you get to sit and enjoy and look at the impact that you've made, the difference you have made, not again in these sort of global, like these percentages, this number of people, but the real lives of people's faces you have looked in, who have looked in yours.
Thank you for all that you've done for this community, for all you've done as a council member, but most importantly, thank you for what you've done to advance the public health work in our community. I'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you.
As you leave council, you're just entering another phase of your life, and you're going to be successful and happy. And I'm just very proud of you. I appreciate the work you've done for the people of Columbus. I appreciate the things you've done for our family. And again, love you very much.
She knows that she is on a divine mission. She believes and knows that everything that she is doing was ordained for her to do. And so I believe that what you, Priscilla, are looking for more than anything is well done. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over small things, and so you are given big things. So come on in and enjoy retirement. You did this. Enjoy it. Well done.